Where to begin? My heart is extremely heavy over the circumstances that led to the death of George Floyd. The inhumanity that we saw on that video is just unspeakable. It's unbelievable that you have someone who is pleading and begging for a breath, asking another individual who does not have the right to deprive someone of taking a simple breath. Just let that soak in for a minute. This is unbelievable to me. And I think the reason why we're having so much chaos in the world as it relates to protesters and the rioters is because we actually got a chance to see life fading away from another human being. It doesn't matter the race of the person. I can't tell you the emotion that I felt when I heard George Floyd cry out for his mother, a 46-year-old man that was in distress due to the negligence of a road cop. He cried out for his mom. And to hear him cry out for his mom, I could hear my son crying out for me, my help, in a time of need. And it broke my heart. This officer, along with the other officers, held their knees compressed George's neck. They compressed his torso, and they compressed his thoracic area. I believe that not only the pressure from Chauvin's knee being pressed on George's neck for that amount of time caused his death, but I also believe the pressure from the other officers caused his death. And rightfully so, they should be held accountable of killing Mr. George. Nobody has the right to deny us the very thing that our Creator gave us, and that is life. The ability to breathe. We all have the ability to breathe. I don't know what they were thinking, what Mr. Chauvin was thinking in all that time that Mr. Floyd cried out saying, "I can't breathe." He needed relief. And Mr. Chauvin continuously throughout the video up until the paramedics arrive, or EMT, I'm not sure which one it was, ask him to release Mr. George so they can put him on the stretcher. By that time, Mr. George was already dead. So that means that the bystanders that were pleading as well to the officers to allow Mr. George to take a breath, they witnessed firsthand Mr. George's life fading away from him and ultimately being taken away from him by Mr. Chauvin and the other officers. What a traumatic experience that is. These people are going to need psychological help. The way that Officer Chauvin just casually held his knee on Mr. George's neck for that amount of time, it was reckless and inhumane. And in my opinion, third-degree murder and manslaughter are not the accurate charges. We literally watched Mr. George Floyd being lynched in a new way. My God, may God have mercy upon all of their souls, and may they be called to repent for their actions. Because what they did, it showed the level of just not being concerned with another human being. I don't get it. I don't get it. We are afraid as humans, most of us are afraid to kill an animal in the street. When we see a dog running in front of our cars, we try to go the opposite way. We don't run straight into the dog and cause harm upon that dog. They intentionally inflicted harm and pain, distress, trauma on Mr. George. Can't nobody tell me that they didn't know that they could possibly cause his death by the actions they took. And that's why the world is angry. We are angry at the injustices that Black people face. From the beginning of time when they brought us here, nothing has really changed in 400 years. Let's be clear about that. Nothing has really changed in 400 years. But it gladdens my heart to see that other Americans are waking up to the injustices that African Americans face today. Judging from the view of the protesters, it's not just black people on the front line. I see Caucasian brothers and sisters. I see Latino brothers and sisters. I see Asian brothers and sisters. I see protests all throughout the world concerning the death of Mr. Floyd. It's sad to say that we're still here having to protest about police brutality, the injustices that we face in the judicial systems, the government entities that are supposed to work for the people, they only work for some. That's why these kids are out there protesting. That's why the disabled are out there protesting. That's why people of all creeds, races, and nationalities are out there protesting. What happened to Mr. Floyd? America has had enough. There needs to be clear and undeniable changes to the way police officers police their communities. I don't know. You can't tell me that holding your knee on somebody's neck for an indefinite amount of time is in any policy of any police force here in America. I know that these officers knew better. So in my opinion, they should be dealt with the way any other American would be dealt with if they committed a murder such as this, because that's what it was. It was a blatant murder. I'm gonna stop this video right now because I'm very, very emotional about this situation. It's hard to sleep. I can't get the image out of my mind. I can't get his voice out of my mind. Hearing him cry out for his mom. My God, my God. A lot of you African Americans mothers know exactly what I feel. Hearing him cry out for his mom. And to know that she's not even here to help broke my heart even more. But I'm going to say, my thoughts and prayers are with the Floyd family, his young daughter, his sisters and brothers. I pray for the attorneys on the case. I pray for the prosecutors. I pray for everybody involved that they may do the right thing and get injustice for George Floyd. Thank you guys and have a blessed day.